So let's say, for example, you were pulled over and he said that you jammed on your brakes, you're doing 35 and a 50. Let's just say he pulls you over and he says, you know, it didn't seem normal. It seemed abnormal to me, is what he just said. So it's not normal for you to be nervous around cops who are there to steal your money. That's not a normal thing.
We're doing here, and they said that they were getting gas. However,
okay, so you said you were getting gas, but you were flustered because there's a pig. If you said that you were getting gas, but then you have a full tank, well, what if you told the cop, hey, I'm getting gas, you just got gas, but that's why you were out. I'm getting gas. And then he looks and your tank is full and he goes, then why is your tank full? You talked, you started running your gums. You started saying something instead of invoking your Fifth Amendment right. You guys saw me at the DUI checkpoint. How come when I said I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, why did he say, okay, have a nice night? He can no longer ask me if I've been drinking. He can no longer ask me where I'm coming from because it goes around as qualified immunity. When someone invokes their Fifth Amendment right, you have to stop questioning them. If you catch it on camera, we can sue their asses. If you catch it on camera, we can sue them. He does seminars all over the country. Listen to the words he's saying. The most powerful amendment you have today is your Fifth Amendment. This is why I tell you immediately show it to the camera, show it to the cop. I immediately invoke my Fifth Amendment right. And this is the reason why. Listen carefully to the words that he says.
Of the highway, or into a safe zone where you're not going to get hurt. And you got to begin asking those pressing questions.
You have to begin asking those pressing questions. His goal is to arrest you. His goal is to put you in torture cuffs, impound your car, and take you to a dungeon. That's his entire goal. That's why the camera and your trifold are the two most important items. The moment he starts, right there. And then he starts those pressing questions. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Anything you say past this as far as a question violates your qualified immunity, and I will sue. Because it's on camera that you're violating my rights.
Highway, or into a safe zone where you're not going to get hurt. And you got to begin asking those pressing questions.
Begin asking pressing questions.
And so one of the questions was he didn't feel like he had enough RAS to ask for consent.
He didn't feel like he had enough reasonable articulable suspicion. There's another video where he says spotting cars that should be pulled over. Just randomly picking a car? He doesn't have enough reasonable articulable suspicion to ask you to search your car. He wants to search your car. Invoke your Fifth Amendment right. Stop talking to the pig.
Reasonable suspicion to ask for consent to search.
You need reasonable suspicion to ask for a search. So what is the reasonable suspicion? It's an out-of-state plate. It's after 10 o'clock. It's dark outside. And he seemed to have swerved to the other lane when he saw me. They can just make it up. They can just make it up. You answering a single question is what will give that New Jersey pig the reasonable articulable suspicion that he feels he has against you to arrest you, to take you to a dungeon, so he can say, do you mind if I search your car?
I know it's not that way in every other state, but in New Jersey we need that. And a lot of times what I find is guys are just missing the reasonable suspicion. They're not really conscious to what they're experiencing and seeing. They just think
you're the cop who isn't searching cars enough. He's not conscious to what he's seeing and experiencing. Seeing and experiencing in which way? What are you talking about? You pulled me over because he said earlier, I was in a 50-mile-an-hour zone. I saw you. I juiced my brakes, turned down to 35. Some cars swerved around me. You make me nervous because you're a jackboot thug pig and your goal is to arrest me. So I slammed on my brakes thinking maybe this is a 35-mile-an-hour zone. When I realized it wasn't, now I went back to 50. Do you mind if I search your car then? You gave him all the ammunition. You explained away why you slammed on your brakes. You explained away that he did have reasonable articulable suspicion. He had reasonable articulable suspicion because you slammed on your brakes. You admitted it. And now when he asked for the search and you say no and he searched your car anyway, he says, man, yeah, the guy told me he slammed on his brake because cops make him nervous. And I thought, well, we're the good guys. Why are we making anybody nervous? And the judge goes, I agree with that. You are the good guys.
That something's wrong. They know something's up. They just can't figure out what it is. So don't get stumped on it.
So this is exactly what Terry versus Ohio says, is that it cannot be a hunch. And now he's teaching, he knows something's wrong, he just can't figure out what it is. It's a hunch, which is not the Terry versus Ohio holding of 1968. It says it can't be just a hunch. It has to be reasonable, articulable suspicion with an SAF, SAF, singular articulable fact of criminality. This jackboot thug pig who teaches other cops that you're just going on your hunch. So you need to build that reasonable, articulable suspicion so you can search a car. Invoke your Fifth Amendment, show the camera to the trifold, show the trifold to the pig, and then say to him, any further questioning abolishes your qualified immunity, and I sue you, jackboot thug pigs.
Experiencing and seeing, they just think that something's wrong. They know something's up.
This guy doesn't know why the word articulable is in reasonable, articulable suspicion. Articulable so you can articulate the criminal fact that you're investigating. Not just, you know there's something wrong, you know you got a hunch, and you got to get in this car and search it. His job is to disorient you. His job is to build reasonable, articulable suspicion based on what you say. That's what they're teaching the cops. Look, I didn't like this game. I don't like this game. This isn't the game I want to play. I want to play free American game. That's the game I want to play. I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play the game of, oh, yeah, I got to invoke my Fifth Amendment right now. Real sorry, bro. Can't talk to you, man. But his whole job is to build reasonable, articulable suspicion, pull you out of the car. He just said why they pulled you out of the car. Listen carefully. He says why they pull you out. They don't pull you out for officer safety, which is the Pennsylvania versus Mims holding.
Get stumped.
So now he says if you get stumped and you can't figure out what's wrong, pull them out of the car, start asking a bunch of pressing questions. They're trying to arrest you. That's their goal. Their goal is to arrest you.
That something's wrong. They know something's up. They just can't figure out what it is. So don't get stumped on it. Here are some questions you can ask. You have somebody step out of a car after all these things have happened.
Here's some questions you can ask. You have someone step out of a car. He has you step out of the car because we all know, if you are a DLZ team member, we all know that we want to challenge Pennsylvania versus Mims. That's my goal, is to get one of you or myself, when they say get out of the car, you say, no, I'm not doing it. You're going to go to jail, for sure. 99% you're going to go to jail. But you're filming, and you say, you're ordering me out of the car. I'm wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and there's nothing around me. There's no way you're ordering me out of the car because it's officer safety, and you have a current fear that I'm armed and currently dangerous. That's how you challenge Pennsylvania versus Mims. The only way you're going to be able to challenge the racist holding pushed through by Hugo Black, member of the KKK, on the Supreme Court, the only way we're going to challenge Pennsylvania versus Mims is if it's on camera. And then you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt and there's no guns, there's no nothing around you, and you tell the cop, I'm not getting out. You're just ordering me out so you can pepper me with questions to try to disorient me to build your reasonable, articulable suspicion. I saw your training videos, Chumpzilla. I'm not getting out. And then they're going to break your window and get you out, but then you can sue them and we can get it all the way up to the Supreme Court to get rid of Pennsylvania versus Mims. Cops don't order you out of the car for their safety. That's not true. They order you out of the car so they can then try to arrest you and put you in torture cuffs.
Happen. Remember, we got to separate the passengers from the driver. There's a lot of other stuff that will
separate the passengers from the driver. I'm telling you, every single passenger who gets in your car, before you pull away, you say, listen, if for any reason the cops pull me over and you don't invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, we're not business partners, we're not friends, you don't talk to me ever again. His goal is to arrest me and impound my car. I'm willing to be the driver if you agree right now that if the cops pull me over for any reason, you invoke your Fifth Amendment right, you don't tell them a damn thing. Otherwise, don't get in my car. SAF, singular articulable fact, within reasonable articulable suspicion from Terry versus Ohio, is SAF, singular articulable fact of criminality. He's trying to build the singular articulable fact of criminality because he wants you to talk. You invoke the Fifth Amendment. The camera is the key. Having it on paper is the key. You can go to deletelaws.com with a Z, the downloadable $9 digital trifold. You print it at home and then you carry it. And if you lose it, you have the PDF on your computer, or you have the $30 indestructible one. But I want you not to talk. I need you to have it in your car and invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. This is the difference maker so that you don't have to have a back and forth with the piggies. If you don't make over $250,000 a year, and you don't have just expendable income, I want you to have it because you're going to be targeted by the coppers. You don't talk to cops, don't talk to cops.